Hello everyone, welcome to Gurudev. Myself Nagaraj Durganavar, I am a physics lecturer. Welcome that we are going to discuss here the NEET question answers which is conducted on 5th May 2024. Now without hesitation we'll start with the first question. The question is that a tightly wound 100 turns coil of radius 10 centimeter carries a current of 7 ampere. The magnitude of the magnetic field at the center of the coil. So here they have given a coil like this, like that number of turns are 100 turns, and each turn's radius is of 10 centimeter, and current carries of I, in which the current whatever carries, that current I, which is 7 ampere, and they have given the permeability which is mu naught. Then what they said is to calculate center of the coil, the magnitude of the magnetic field. They said us to calculate the magnitude of the magnetic field, and we know the formula for this, that magnitude of magnetic field due to a current carrying coil, that B is equals to mu naught N into I upon 2R. If you substitute all these value here, that you are going to get the answer as 4.4 millitesla. That is the answer. Next, we'll go to the next question, that there is some list they have given here: diamagnetic, ferromagnetic, paramagnetic and non-magnetic, and whose their susceptibility is given. And we know the relations of these. This is the properties of magnetic materials, right? So diamagnet, for diamagnet the answer is susceptibility is less than 0, which is minus. For ferromagnetic, susceptibility is greater than 1, and paramagnetic, which is greater than 0, slightly positive value, and for non-magnetic it is 0. There is no susceptibility for non-magnetic materials. Hence our answer is for this is the third, right? Yes. Now next we'll go to the third question. A thermodynamic system is taken through a cycle A, B, C, D, A. The work done by the gas along the path B, C. So many students are confused that, so this is a cyclic order, hence they will give a 0. This is a different approach, but here they are asking only path BC. You have to remember path BC. So look at the path BC here, where volume is constant. Volume is constant. Volume is not going to change. Then what is the work done formula? Work done is equals to integration of PV. So if there is no change in the volume, then the work done will be 0. Therefore, dear students, the answer is third option, 0. Now next question. Fourth question, an unipolar light beam strikes a glass surface at Brewster angle, then what happens? So at Brewster angle, for a perfect reflected light wave, both polarization will take place. That is, complete polarization takes place for a reflected wave. But for a refracted wave, a partial polarization takes place. For hence, our answer is, the question number 4, answer is, the reflected light will be completely polarized, but the refracted light will be partially polarized. The option is, second option is the correct option. Now, fifth question. So in an ideal transformer, the turns ratio is, they have given NP by NS is 1 by 2. And the ratio of potentials, potential in secondary and to the potential in a primary, equal to, they are asking, the relation between number of turns and potential is directly proportional. Number of turns and potential is directly proportional. Hence what we can say here, they have given here NP by NS, and they are asking what is the ratio of Vs by Vp. So here they are become inversely proportional. Hence what we can write, Vs by Vp is equal to Ns by Np. Ns by Np. So which option correct here? This ratios. If it is 1 by 2, then the answer is 2:1. So hence the answer is fourth option is the correct option. My dear students, you can check it. Then we'll go to the next one, that is sixth question. A logic circuit provides the output y as per the following truth table. Then you can see here y output is b bar. Simple. So you can see here y output is exactly the b bar. B bar means what? Complement. So if b is 0, output is 1, which is complement. If b is 1, output is 0, complement. If b is again 0, its complement is 1. If b is 1, its complement is 0. Therefore, output we can say that y is equal to b bar. So this is the option, dear students. That is b bar only. Next question. Question number 7. In a vernier caliper, n plus 1 divisions of vernier scale coincides with the n division of main scale. If 1 MSD represents 0.1 mm, the vernier constant in centimeter. What is the vernier constant they are asking? So here, if you write the formula, we know that n minus 1 or n plus 1 VSD equal to n MSD. This is the formula. N plus 1 VSD equal to n MSD. Then what is the value of 1 VSD? 1 VSD कितना हो जाएगा? n divided by n plus 1 into MSD. और लीस्ट काउंट का फॉर्मूला क्या है? व्हाट इज द लीस्ट काउंट फॉर्मूला? लीस्ट काउंट इज इक्वल टू 1 MSD minus 1 VSD, and we have what is 1 VSD here. Put substitute in that. 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. 1 VSD क्या है? इधर ही है आपके पास. That is n divided by n plus 1 into bracket of MSD. So what is the common in these two? इन दोनों में कॉमन क्या है? अगर आप कॉमन लेंगे तो 1 माइनस MSD कॉमन आ जाएगा आपका, और ये 1 माइनस n डिवाइडेड बाय n प्लस 1 हो जाएगा इनटू ब्रैकेट ऑफ MSD, एंड यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट व्हाट इज द MSD वैल्यू. So what is the value of 1 MSD? 1 MSD represents 1 mm. 1 MSD represents 1 mm. But they are asking answer in centimeter. So that's why 1 divided by 10 centimeter you can write. So here if you take the answer here, that is n plus 1 minus n divided by n plus 1, and this will be 0.1 divided by 0.1 mm is that, therefore it is 0.1. So 0.1 divided by 10, so here n get cancelled, so your answer you will get as the least count as 1 by, so here you multiply by 10 and divided by 10. So it becomes what? 1 by 100, and here what is remaining? 1 divided by n plus 1. Bracket of 1 divided by n plus 1. So which is the answer, dear students? The answer is fourth one. Right? Yes. Next. The maximum elongation of a steel wire of 1 meter length of the elastic limit of steel and its Young's modulus is respectively they have given. What they said to calculate? Maximum elongation they said is to calculate. And here we know the relation that Young's modulus is equal to, what is Young's modulus? Young's modulus is stress upon strain. Stress upon strain. Correct? Now, here they said us to calculate what is the change in length. Nothing but elongation of a wire 1 meter. Original length is this much. Change in length we need to calculate. So, strain is equal to Young's modulus into stress. They have given the Young's modulus. Young's modulus they have given, and elastic limit also they have given. So here change in length, strain is nothing but change in length upon original length. equal to Young's modulus into stress. Now change in length is equal to, if you calculate that, 8 into 10 raised to 8 divided by 2 into 10 to the power of 11. Hence into 1 meter is there, into 1. Then you will get the answer as 4 millimeter. So answer is 4 millimeter. Okay dear students, next. Question number 9. A horizontal force of 10 Newton is applied to a block A. For block A, 10 Newton force is applied. The mass of block A and B are 2 kg and 3 kg. Mass of A is 2 kg, mass of B is 3 kg respectively. The block slide over frictional surface. This surface is a frictional surface. The force exerted block A on block B. Understood? So here, first we will calculate what is the net acceleration of the body. In connected motion, the common acceleration. Common acceleration. What is the common acceleration? Net force upon net mass. Net force upon net mass. Net force कितना लगाया आपने यहाँ पे? 10 न्यूटन. And then divided by total mass कितना है? 5. 3 plus 2, 5. तो ये कितना आ गया आपका आंसर? This will be 2 meter per second square is the net acceleration. Now we will draw the individual diagram, free body diagram for body A and for body B. That is free body diagram for A and B. Separately, if you draw, that would be like this. This is for 2 kg, for which 10 Newton force is applied here. Then because of this body B, an opposite force will be there. That is force of B on A, and acceleration will be in this direction. Now here 10 Newton force is there. You can calculate FBA. The same FBA is also acting on the B also. For B, this is 3 kg. The same force FBA which is acting on the 3 kg also, and acceleration will be A. So here force of B on A, if you calculate that, FBA which is equal to mass 3 into acceleration is 2, which is equal to 6 meter per second square. Okay dear students, so answer, what is the answer? 6 meter per second square. So answer is first one. Next question. Question number 10. If the monochromatic source in Young's double slit experiment, they are replaced by white light, then what happens? So here the options are, there will be a central bright white fringe surrounded by few colored fringes. So what happens here, if two fringes are there, then here on the screen, due to this, there will be a dark monochromatic light will be formed, and surrounding which colored will be formed. So this will be a monochromatic. So there will be a central bright fringe, white fringe surrounded by few colored fringes, and these are having different wavelengths, but central will be having bright one, which is the composite of all the colors. So central bright fringe color, that's the answer is this one. Okay dear students, next. Question number 11. The graph shows the variation of 1 by lambda square and its kinetic energy E, where lambda is the de Broglie wavelength of free particle. Then which option is correct? They are asking. So here, how the energy related to the wavelength. If you find out that ratio, then you will get the answer. Okay guys? Yes. So here 1 upon lambda square, right? So to get the lambda, we should know the properties of a photons. The momentum of a photon is given by P is equal to h by lambda. Since I want here lambda, then what I will do, lambda is equal to h by p. And here energy I want. Energy means what here? Kinetic energy. Relation between momentum and kinetic energy. So that is equal to h divided by under root of 2m e. This formula I hope you know that. Then lambda is inversely proportional, you can say lambda square, squaring on both sides, h square upon 2me. Then relation between lambda and energy is energy is equal to or proportional to 1 by lambda square. So inversely proportional square is there, therefore it is 1 by lambda square. So we will get a straight line inclined plane, that is this option, second option. Okay dear students, next question number 12. So this is look like a Wheatstone bridge. I hope you everybody remember that Wheatstone bridge. Bridge is balanced, then P by Q is equal to R by S. That derivation is also there. So based on it is look like that only. So here if we analyze that Wheatstone bridge network, then this part will be cancelled out. Then it look like, because this is also 2 microfarad, so this is 2 micro, all are 2 microfarad. That's why it is according to Wheatstone bridge network, balanced network, this capacitor will be neglected. Hence here this becomes 2. These two are in series. You can see here these two are in series and these two are in series. And this is 2 microfarad, 2 microfarad, 2 microfarad. These two are in series, 2 plus 2. It is not like that adding. It is 1 by C1, 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Based on that, if you do that, it will be C by 2. Nothing but 2 by 2, which is 1. Your capacitor equivalent will be here, it is 1. And here it is also 1. And these two are in parallel. For parallel, it is just a addition, like C equal to C1 plus C2. Therefore, the net capacitor is 1 microfarad. Sorry, 1 plus 1, 2 microfarad. So this is 1 and these two are in parallel. Hence 1 plus 1, 2 microfarad. So answer is 2 microfarad. Okay guys? Yes. Next, 13th one. So if you observe the question, that the solenoid 1 and there are solenoid 2. Two solenoids are there. There is a one magnet. Here this north pole and south pole. And we know that according to Lentz's law, though if the magnitude of the magnetic field changes, there induces an EMF. Correct? So here if south pole is there and it is entering into the second solenoid, then here also which pole will be produced? According to Lentz's law, it get opposed. To get opposed here, which pole is produced here? South pole. And here it is moving away from the solenoid. If it is moving away from the solenoid, here south pole is also produced. So here it is attracting, here is also repelling. Based on that, so here if it is moving away, hence the current will be moving from A to B. So here current will be like this. That is from A to B. But here it opposes the motion, since the current whatever produces, here it is D to C. Therefore, the answer is, where to where it is? 13th one, 3, A to B and D to C. This is according to Lentz's law. Okay, we'll see next one. 14th one, consider the following statements A and B, identify the correct answer. Okay. Now, for a solar cell, IV characteristics lies in the fourth quadrant of the given graph. How to know this one? If you study that the solar cell always works in the reverse bias. Reverse bias condition it works. And whenever the light incident on that depletion region, the majority carriers will be repelled. I mean, they are attracted towards the plates. So hence, that will be drawn across the fourth quadrant only. So solar cell is not drawing the current. It is giving out the current to the system. That's why it is operating in a fourth. Yes, this is correct. Next, in reverse bias PN junction diode, the current measured in microampere, it is due to majority carriers. No, wrong. In reverse bias, no majority carriers. In reverse bias, you write it down. In reverse bias, minority carriers will work. Current is due to minority charge carrier. So that's why first A is correct, B is wrong. A is correct, B is incorrect. That option is third one. That option is third one. Next, question number 15. It is little bit lengthier, but still you can solve it. See, this question is based on the prism, right? So here, this is N1. This is, if you consider mu, and this is again N1. So whenever light travel from N1 to mu, N1 is air here. You can consider air. For air, refractive index is how much? 1. Now here you have to calculate what is mu, refractive index of this prism or glass. And again N1 is 1 here. Now ray of light incident, angle of incidence is how much? 30. We have a formula, N1 sin I is equal to into sin R, right? N1 sin I is equal to into sin R. Based on that formula, we can write, we can consider the surface, this surface individually, and again this surface individually. Okay, so here for first one, we'll consider surface AB. For AB surface, N1 is 1, angle is sin 30, angle of incidence, which is equal to refractive index of second medium is mu into sin R. Correct? Now next, for a surface AC. For surface AC, angle of incidence is this one and angle of refraction is this one. Therefore, for AC, mu sin, this angle would be 90 minus 30 or 90 minus R, which is equal to N1 into sin 90. What is sin 90? This is 1. Therefore, mu into cos R is equal to 1. Why I wrote cos R here? Because sin 90 minus theta is cos theta. That's why cos R. Then what is cos R here? Which is equal to 1 by mu. Okay? Yes. Next. So from this one, from equation number 1 and 2, I can write this equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. From this one and equation number 1 and 2, 1 by 2, that is sin 30. Sin 30 how much? 1 by 2, which is equal to mu bracket under root of 1 minus 1 by mu square. How I got this one? Based on the, we have a formula, that is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. That is identity, right? Then what is your sin theta? Sin theta equal to under root of 1 minus cos square theta. So 1 as it is like this, and cos square, cos is 1 by mu, cos square is 1 by mu square. Now taking squaring on both sides, if you square on both sides, so this becomes 1 by 4, which is equal to mu inside, if you take mu minus mu by mu square. So it is mu square, sorry. First here what will do? Mu square into bracket of 1 minus 1 by mu square. So here this take inside this mu here. So it is 1 by 4 mu square minus 1. Then from this one, what is mu? So from here mu is equals to root 5 by 2. So this is the answer. That is the fourth option is the answer, guys. Next, question number 16. Given below, there are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and other will be assertion B. Right? What is assertion? The potential V at any axial point at a 2 meter distance from the center of the dipole moment vector P of magnitude this much is given. Take. So they have to calculate the potential. Correct? So we have, if you calculate the potential, how much potential you are going to get, we need to calculate it. So here, question number 16, the formula for potential is given by V is equal to K P cos theta upon R square. This formula for potential at any point on the axial line from 0 to 180 degree. So potential here theta is equal to 0 degree for axial line. They are asking, since cos 0 is 1, potential equal to K P upon R square. Okay. Then if you substitute the value, K value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Dipole moment also they have given 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6 upon distance is 2, which is 4. 4 get cancelled. Then remaining is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 minus 6 is 3. So this is correct. Yes. So assertion is correct. Reason, potential V is equal to plus or minus 2p upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, where r is the distance of any axial point situated at 2 meters from the center of the dipole. Hence the answer is first one only correct, because this will not be the proper answer. Our formula is this one. Therefore option A is correct. Okay guys. Next, question number 17, which is based on the rotational motion of chapter. Okay. So here what they ask, the moment of inertia of a thin rod. So here moment of inertia of a thin rod. This is a rod whose axis of rotation is perpendicular at the center of the rod. So this is the center of the rod. Now at the center of the rod, moment of inertia I is equal to ml square by 12, where L is the length of the rod. So ml square by 12. Okay. So here they have given moment of inertia, which is 2400 gram per centimeter square, and the mass is also they have given. We need to calculate the L. So ml square upon 12 is equal to 2400, and mass also they have given, that is 400 gram upon 12 into L square is equal to 2400. If you solve this one, you will get L as L is equals to 8.5 centimeter. 8.5 centimeter. So this is the answer, dear students. That is 8.5 centimeter. Next, question number 18. So here electric circuit is given. This is a 10 volt battery, 4 ohm external resistance, 1 ohm is the internal resistance. Okay. So the what you have to calculate? The terminal voltage you need to calculate. The terminal voltage of the battery whose EMF is 10 volt and internal resistance 1 ohm when connected through the external resistance of 4 ohm. When we connect the terminal voltage, when we say EMF, that is important. Terminal potential when the circuit is connected like this, only outside, apart from this one. Terminal potential, right? So first here, total voltage if you consider 10 volt, which is equal to total current in the circuit. That is current, I don't know. If you find the current, that will be easy for us. So what is current here? These two resistors are in series, correct? So total 4 plus 1 into I. So what is the I here? I is equal to 10 by 2, which is 5 ampere. Now you have to calculate terminal voltage. So terminal voltage is equal to net voltage minus I into R. So I is 5 into 1 is 5. Sorry. Current is 5 ampere. So current is 2 ampere, sorry. Here I is equal to 5. 1 minute. Here 10 is equal to 4 plus 1 into I. Then I is equal to 10 by 5, which is equal to 2 ampere. Yes. So then terminal voltage is equals to, what is terminal voltage here? Total voltage minus I into R, which is equal to 10 minus 2 into internal resistance 1, which is 8 volt. Therefore, your answer is 8 volt terminal voltage. Next, 19th one, match the list with these things. So here it is a question from atoms. Balmer series equation general formula is there. The general formula is 1 by lambda is equal to r into z square bracket of 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So if you calculate for each and every one, n1 and n2, you are going to get for lambda 1, for first one, lambda a, for a, for a, if you calculate that lambda for a, lambda is equal to 656.3 for lambda a, lambda b, if you calculate, then you are going to get 486.1 for lambda c, 434.1 for lambda d, your answer is 410.1. Then which option is correct for this one? Then if you see that first one will be 6, this one, first one will be third one. Then next 486, second one will be this one, and C 434, this one, and finally last one, this one. So this option is in D. So option D is correct option. Next, question number 20. If c is the velocity of light in free space, the correct statement about the photon among the following. This is the properties of photon, right? So its energy is h nu, correct? E equal to h nu is also correct. The velocity of photon is c, that is also correct. Then momentum of photon is h nu by c, that is also correct. A photon electron collision, both total energy and total momentum are conserved, this is also correct. And photon possess positive charge. No, photons are electrically neutral, hence they do not possess any positive charge. This is the wrong statement. Hence only A, B, C, D answer correct. Okay. So next page 21. This is a question based on nuclei chapter, which is a radioactive decay, alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. Here first X element is a 290 mass number, 82 atomic number. If it goes alpha, what happens? Here -2 and mass number reduced by 4. So it becomes what? 82 becomes 90 and it becomes 286. Here one electron extra added. If electron added means what? Electron added. So it becomes E plus. Sorry, 82 becomes, it is, sorry, 80. 82 becomes 80. So E plus becomes 79. And mass number does not change. Therefore, it will be 8286 only. And beta changes means, beta changes, again beta. Beta negative is there. Beta negative means one we have to add. So it becomes 80. 79 plus 1. Beta negative. If there is a beta positive, we should have subtracted. That would be 78. But it is beta negative. We have to add 79 plus 1, 80. And mass number does not change, 286. Again what it is? E negative. If you are removing a negative charge, it becomes positive. Hence it becomes what? 81 and 286. So which option is correct? 286 and 81. Second option is correct. Okay guys? Yes. Next. Question number 22. Question number 22. So here in this question, they have given the displacement of the particle as 2t minus 1 under the influence of force 5 Newton. The value of instantaneous power they are asking. So power is equal to force into velocity. So here they have not given the velocity, but they have given the displacement. So what is displacement here? If S is the displacement, if you consider F is the displacement, then S is equal to 2t minus 1. Then differentiate this one, ds by dt, displacement upon time, you will get a velocity. That is a velocity. So this is equal to 2. If you differentiate this one, then you just put substitute value there, you will get the answer. That is power P is equal to, force is how much? 5 Newton and into 2, which is 10. So the answer is 10. The next question number 23. So it is a based on the logic gates. So here this is a purely a NOT gate, and this is also NOT gate. Okay guys, if A is there, here it will be A bar, then this would be A bar. Sorry, B is there means it is B bar. So it is B bar. Now it is NOR. This is NOR gate. So NOR means what it becomes? See here, A plus B, A bar plus B bar whole bar. If you solve this one, A double bar into B double bar. A double bar is A dot B. So this gate will be a AND gate. So which option here? This is second option. Next, question number 24. The mass of a planet is 1/10 of that of the Earth and diameter is half of the Earth. The acceleration due to gravity on that planet they are asking, right? So here we know that acceleration due to gravity is directly proportional to the mass and divided by square of the radius. Correct guys? Now, if you want the acceleration due to gravity at certain height or another planet, G dash upon G is equal to, hence it is directly proportional M dash upon M, and inversely proportional to radius, hence it is R dash by R whole square. Now, if you solve this one, M dash is how much? M dash is 1/10. That is M divided by 10 times of M into R dash is R by 2. Hence it is R by 2R whole square. So R get cancelled, M get cancelled. So this would be G dash is equal to G times of G dash is equal to G times, I have taken this one here, and cancel means into, here it is 1 by 4. This is R by 2, right sir? R dash. No, here it is, some mistake is there. G dash by M dash by M into R divided by R dash whole square it should be, because it is inversely proportional, no? Yes. So G dash by this, and this equal to M dash is how much? M divided by 10M into R divided by R by 2 whole square. It should be like this. Then these R cancel, M get cancelled. Then G dash is equal to G into 4 by 10. 4 by 10 times of this one. 4 by 10 times is what? So 9.8 into 4 by 10. If you calculate, you will get a 3.9, nearly approx 3.92 meter per second square. This is the answer, dear student. The next 25th question, given below are two statements. So atoms, statement 1, atoms are electrically neutral as they contain equal number of positive charge and negative charges. Yes, this is correct. Statement is correct. Then statement 2, atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic spectrums. Yes, atoms are stable and they emit their respective spectral lines. Second statement is also correct. Therefore, statement 1 is correct. So option is both statement 1, statement 2 are correct. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Most appropriate answer with the option given below. So here the statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect, that atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic they are telling, but it is atoms are not stable like uranium, thorium. These are unstable when they get converted. So hence the Second option is wrong. Hence, the statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Yes, guys. So, next questions from 25 to up to 50 questions. Our colleague, another sir, they are going to engage. Thank you.
Hello, my dear friends, my dear students. My name is Uttam Kumar, UK sir. In fact, Nagaraj sir has taken you people through question number 1 to 25. So next I'll be moving ahead with question number 26 to 50. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the discussion. Now, if we just talk about question number 26. Now, this question is saying that a wheel of a bullock cart is rolling on a level road, okay, as shown. If its linear speed is v in the direction shown, so linear speed is given as v. So here note that the speed given is, this is the speed of center of mass. So we can consider it to be speed of center of mass here, and we can see that which one of the following is correct. P and Q are any highest and lowest points on the wheel respectively. Now remember, in rolling motion, if you see that there is a point in contact with the surface, the velocity at that point we can safely assume it to be 0. So the velocity can be 0, and velocity at P, this is the highest point. Okay. Now at this point, I'll consider the velocity Vp is equal to 2 times velocity of center of mass. So I need not solve it, my dear friends, because we just need to consider what? We just need to consider the right choice. So we can see that point P moves faster than point Q. We can very clearly understand this. So question number option 4 happens to be our right choice here. Now let us move ahead to our next question quickly. A particle moving with uniform speed in a circular path maintains. Now note they have given a keyword called speed. So what is speed? Speed is magnitude of velocity. So in uniform circular motion, we always know that magnitude of velocity is constant. Okay. If you just consider a circular motion, okay, in circular path we can see that any particle will have velocity in this way. So this is v1, this is v2. But note that velocity v1 and v2, they will have same magnitude. So that means magnitude of v1 and v2 will be same, but direction keeps on changing. So from this I can see that velocity is going to vary, because velocity is measured both in terms of magnitude as well as direction. Similarly, acceleration, obviously centripetal acceleration, if you just note here, at any point you consider, centripetal acceleration will also be having what? Change in the direction. So from this I can easily understand that velocity and acceleration, both of them will vary. So very clearly second option is our right choice, my dear friends. So I hope you have followed this. Now let me move on to next question here. Now this question is a very interesting question. A thin flat circular disc of radius 4.5 centimeter is placed gently over the surface of water. If surface tension of water is 0.07 Newton per meter, then the excess force. See, in previous question papers, they had asked you to calculate excess pressure. But now they want us to calculate excess force. Now we know that surface tension T is equal to what? Force divided by length. Now, since we are considering a circular disc here, circular disc. So, what is the value of length of a circular disc if you just consider? Now, when you are placing it on, gently placing it on a liquid or water. So, definitely we can see that here L will be equal to 2 pi r. L is 2 pi r, is it not? Okay, it's quite easy for us. So therefore we should find force. Force F is equal to what? surface tension into length. What is length here? 2 pi r. Now, I need not be more genius by making calculation of this. I hope you people can very easily calculate this. Okay. So, in this particular question, we can see that the answer will be 19.8 millinewton. So, that's what we get. Okay. So, this is option 3 for us. Now, let's move ahead with our next question. Now, in this question, now this is based on the motion of a magnetic compass needle. Okay, we should remember that whenever we place a magnetic compass needle in a magnetic field, it is going to execute what? Simple harmonic motion. Okay, in this question, they want us to calculate what? Value of x. Okay, so what is x here? Magnetic moment of the needle is x into 10 to the power minus 5. So that means this question they want us to calculate magnetic dipole moment of the needle. Okay, and we know that frequency of magnetic compass needle, if you just talk about frequency of magnetic compass needle, is 1 by 2 pi into square root of mb divided by I. Okay. Why did I take frequency? Because if you just refer to the problem here, performs 20 complete oscillations in 5 seconds. So that means they have given us a hint to calculate frequency. So we can see that frequency f, I can calculate it as what? 20 oscillations divided by 5 seconds. So that means it should be equal to how much? 4 hertz. So this is going to the frequency here, right? So let us go ahead and put these values and square on both sides. Then we will obtain this as what? 4 pi square. So I'll just mention it as mb divided by I is equal to 4 pi square into f square. Okay. So therefore, magnetic dipole moment m is equal to what? 4 pi square f square into I divided by b. This is the formula that we get. Okay. So if you just put in the values, okay. So my dear friends, I think not much of calculations are required in this particular question. Okay. So here, if you just put in the values, we'll get the value as 1280 pi square into 10 raised to minus 5. Okay. So hence, I'll just pick option 2 as our right choice. Okay. Now let's move ahead with next question. I hope it is clear. Okay. So let's move on to question 30. Now you can see that two bodies A and B of same mass undergo completely inelastic one-dimensional collision. The body A moves with velocity v1 while body B is at rest before collision. Okay. The velocity of the system after collision is v2. Then the ratio of v1 to v2 they want us to calculate. Now if you just consider two bodies. Okay. Now let me take first body moving with velocity v1. Right. So A moves with velocity v1. This is body A. Okay. Now let me consider body B here. Now for this velocity is 0. Initial velocity is 0 here. Okay. Then after they collide, they are colliding in what manner? They are colliding inelastically. So we can easily see that these two bodies put together, they move. Right. So both the bodies will move together. So they will move as a combination. So from this we can very easily understand that initial momentum is equal to final momentum. If you just apply law of conservation of linear momentum, we can see that initial momentum. Now velocity, we can consider mass m into velocity of first body is v1. Okay, plus second body mass is m into velocity of second body is 0 Okay. Now this is equal to m plus m. I'll just consider this as m plus m into velocity. I'll take it as v2. So when they inelastically collide, okay, the velocity is found to be v2. Okay, their combined velocity is v2 here. So this is v2. So now they want us to find what v1 by v2. So therefore I'll say m v1 equal to 2m v2. So therefore v1 by v2 should be equal to what? v1 by v2, 2:1. So they want us to calculate this only. So this is option 4, my dear friends. Okay. Now let's progress to the next question quickly. Now wherever you find me a little fast, okay, just pause the video and look at the solution. Okay. Now let me move on to next question. Now this question is based on simple harmonic motion. As you can see, the equation is x equal to phi sine pi t plus pi by 3 meter represents the motion of a particle executing simple harmonic motion. The amplitude and time period of motion respectively are how much they are asking. Okay. Now amplitude we can very easily understand. It happens to be 5 here. So I'll just mention amplitude is 5. Okay. How did I do it? I'll just write the equation y is equal to a sine omega t plus phi. So dear friends, phi is initial phase. So as we compare this equation here, we can see that amplitude happens to be 5, right? Then if you compare again with standard equation, the given equation with standard equation, in place of omega, I have what? Pi. Okay, so therefore I'll say omega, that is angular velocity, omega is equal to what? Pi. And they want us to calculate time period. Now time period, I can very easily understand that omega is equal to what? 2 pi by time period. Now this is equal to what? Pi. So you cancel off pi here, then we'll get time period t is equal to 2. Okay. So hence amplitude is 5 centimeter and time period is 2 seconds. So option 3 happens to be our right choice. Now let me move on to next question. Question number 32. Okay. In 32nd question, as you can see, the quantities which have the same dimensions as those of solid angle. Note that solid angle is a supplementary physical quantity. Okay. And supplementary physical quantities, they do not have any dimensions. So solid angle is dimensionless. Okay. Similarly, strain happens to be dimensionless because it is change in dimension divided by original dimension. So this is dimensionless. Angle is again a supplementary physical quantity, which is again, I can say very easily, this is dimensionless. So option 3 happens to be our correct choice here. Okay. Then this one is a hot pick, I can say. A thin spherical shell is charged by some source. Note that it is a spherical shell. Okay. And potential difference between the 2 points C and P. See, such a simple question. Potential at C and potential at P, if you just consider, we know that it is a hollow sphere, so spherical shell. So definitely potential remains constant inside. So here V is a constant. From where to where? From center to surface. Okay. So since V is constant, what is the potential at C? Potential at C is V. Potential at P is what? V. Then what is the difference between these two? Yes, bingo. Correct. Absolutely right. So it is second option. So potential difference happens to be 0. Okay. Now let's progress to question number 34 here. A bob is whirled in a horizontal plane by means of a string with an initial speed of omega rpm. The tension in the string is capital T. If the speed becomes a 2 omega while keeping the same radius, the tension in the string becomes. Okay. Now this question is direct question based on. Now suppose if you consider a string connected to a bob, okay, if you whirl this in this direction, whirl it like this, okay, if you whirl it in this manner, note that the force experienced by the bob at the center, okay, now this is nothing but tension, and this tension happens to be same as what? Centripetal force. Yes, absolutely correct, my dear friends. So centripetal force, now we have understood this approach. So centripetal force is T here. So T is equal to m into omega square into r. This is what we know, right? So what is radius here? Radius is the length of the wire, okay, and since length of the wire is not changing here, length of the pendulum is not changing, so very clearly I can see that tension happens to be directly proportional to square of angular velocity, okay. So now I can very easily apply the proportionality concept, and I can see that as omega is becoming 2 omega, so very clearly as you can see omega 1 is given as omega and omega 2 is given as 2 omega, okay. So because of this reason I can say that T2 will be what? 4 times of T1, okay. So option 4 is our right choice. I hope you have followed this, okay. Now let me move on to next question. 35th question. A wire of length L and resistance 100 ohm is divided into 10 equal parts. This one is our most favorite question, is it not? We have solved such questions n number of times in our classes, is it not? So wire of length L and resistance 100 is divided into 10 equal parts. So very clearly I know that resistance R happens to be directly proportional to length, okay. So when you divide the wire in 10 equal parts, each part will be what? L by 10. From this I can note that resistance will be how much? R by 10. So each part resistance I will take it as R1 suppose, okay. So R1 is R by 10. So such 10 equal parts, and now what they are doing? The first 5 parts are connected in series. First 5 parts are connected in series. So and next 5 parts are connected in parallel. So I can consider first 5 parts in series. So then RS will be equal to what? 5 times of R1. So R1 is how much? R by 10. So 5 into R by 10. So this happens to be R by 2. Is it not? Okay. Then they say that after this next 5 parts are connected in parallel again, they are saying. So next 5 parts they are in parallel. So in this question I can see that first 5 parts. So this is 100 ohm it is given. So I'll just use R as 100. So it is 50 now. So RS is 50. Similarly RP is how much? 5 equal parts. So definitely I'll just write it as R1 by 5 here. Okay. So as we know that R1 by 5 and R1 is R by 10. So I'll just get this as R by 50. So R by 50 and R is how much? 100. So 100 by 50, that should be equal to 2. Now Rp is 2, Rs is 50, and now they say that the two combinations are again connected in series. So that means they say that R equivalent will be equal to Rs plus Rp. Okay, so Rs is 50 here, so I'll just mention 50 plus 2. So hence our required answer is how much? 52. So option 4 is our right choice, is it not? Okay, so let us progress to the next question now. Now 36th question, this is based on Charles' law, so we need not spend too much time on this. The following graph represents TV curves of an ideal gas. So from Charles' law I know that volume and temperature, they are directly proportional to each other, correct? Similarly, temperature and pressure, they are directly proportional to each other. But now since it is a TV graph, I'll just take that temperature versus volume graph. So from this I can note that pressure P1 has a higher slope than P2 than P3, is it not? So hence, so clearly I can write P1 greater than P2 greater than P3. That's it. Okay. So option 2 is our right choice. Now 37th question. A parallel plate capacitor is charged by connecting it to a battery through a resistor. If I is the current in the circuit, then gap between the plates is how much they are asking. Okay. Now in this question is based on displacement current. Okay, so now over here parallel plate capacitor, as we can see, capacitor is being charged, is it not? So it is very clearly given. So displacement current produced in this case, ID would be equal to what? Displacement current ID would be I can say epsilon naught into d phi by dt. d phi by dt. So this is the displacement current. Now note that this d phi by dt, in this I'll just keep epsilon naught as it is again. So I'll just write d by dt of magnetic, this flux, electric flux is what? E into A. Now I'll take A outside, I'll write it as epsilon naught A, okay, into d by dt of again d by dt of E, electric field. Electric field I'll write it as V by D. D is the distance, that's what we want. So I'll take this D outside again. So I'll just write epsilon naught. So I'll write it as epsilon naught A divided by D into d by dt of. Now note that now we are left with what? Potential difference. So potential I'll just write it as what? Q by C. Q by C. Now what is epsilon naught A by D, my dear friends? Epsilon naught A by D is capacitance, is it not? So this is equal to C into d cube, C into 1 by C I'll write, into dq by dt. Now C is cancelled off. Okay, so what is dq by dt? Dq by dt is current, is it not? So hence I can very easily understand that it is conduction current. So this happens to be displacement current of magnitude equal to I flows in the same direction as I. So I can easily understand that dq by dt happens to be I here. So that's what we have, is it not? So fourth option is our right choice. Now let me quickly move on to next question, 38th question. The property which is not of an electromagnetic wave traveling in free space is that. So which property is not matching? So if we just consider here, they travel with speed equal to mu naught into epsilon naught. This is correct here. Okay. Then they originate from charges moving with uniform speed. This is where you have the catch. Uniform speed. If you keep speed uniform, you cannot originate or you cannot have magnetism. Magnetic effect cannot be initiated. So very clearly this is the wrong one. So I'll just pick option 2 as my pick. Okay. And they are transverse in nature. Definitely all the electromagnetic waves are transverse. This is also correct. The energy density in electric field is equal to energy density in magnetic field. So definitely this is correct because this is as per law of conservation of energy. So definitely 3, 4 and 1, they are the properties of electromagnetic waves, whereas second one is not. So I picked that. Now choose the correct circuit which can achieve the bridge balance. So if you just understand here, now if you just notice 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4. Now this third one, if you consider, this is non-ideal diode. If you consider like that, okay, because this is a little finicky question. In first, second, these are ideal diodes. Remember, okay, and in third one it is non-ideal diode. So hence, in case of non-ideal diode, we'll have balanced bridge. Always consider in this manner. So hence, option 3 happens to be the right choice. Then 40, question number 40, if you just observe, in question number 40, I can very easily see that if the plates of a parallel plate capacitor connected to a battery are moved close to each other, then what happens? So A, charge stored in it increases, okay, definitely yes, okay. Then because I know that capacitance C is equal to what? Epsilon naught A divided by D. Okay. Now, when parallel plate capacitor, the battery are moved close to each other. So, definitely these plates are moved close to each other. So, that means D is decreasing. So, when D decreases, what happens to capacitance? It will increase. So, that means it can store more charge. So, A is correct here. Okay. Then let us consider second one. Energy stored in it decreases. Now let us understand this now. Okay. So we can see that energy stored in it decreases, they are saying. Since capacitance is increasing, energy, I know that energy U is half CV square. If you just address to this in this manner. Now battery is same, so that means potential difference is same, but capacitance has increased. So that means energy should also increase, but they say that energy stored in it decreases, so I will not be considering this. Then if we consider C, its capacitance increases, definitely yes, I have already answered to this, so it is correct. Okay, the ratio of charge to its potential remains the same. Charge by potential, that ratio remains the same. Why? Because we have same potential difference, is it not? So hence A, C and E. So even I am just going to consider this as wrong, so E is correct here. So I will just consider A, C and E only. The product of charge and voltage, it will increase, so definitely Q into V, that will definitely increase. So from this I can see that option 4 happens to be our correct choice. Okay. Now let me go to question number 41. 41st question, as you can notice, a force defined by F is equal to alpha t square plus beta t acts on a particle at a given time. The factor which is dimensionless if alpha and beta are constants is, okay. Now the factor which is dimensionless they are asking. Okay, so first we will find the dimensions of alpha and beta, then we will address to that. Now as you can notice, according to given, F is equal to alpha t square beta t. So that means according to principle of homogeneity, alpha t square and beta t, they must possess same dimensions as force. So I'll just write alpha into t square is equal to dimension of force. Dimension of force is what? M L T raised to minus 2. Dimension of force. So therefore, I can see that alpha becomes equal to what? M L T raised to minus 2 divided by T raised to 2. Is it not? Because this T square I am just considering here. So that we will get this as what? M L T raised to minus 4. This is dimension of alpha. Now similarly, dimension of beta if you just consider. So I'll just write it as beta into t is equal to again M L T raised to minus 2. Once again we'll write this. So therefore dimension of beta I can consider it as what? M L T raised to minus 3. I hope you can follow. I have written directly. You just take t in the transpose t to the other side, so we will get divided by t. So when it goes to the numerator, it becomes t raised to minus 3. Okay. So alpha and beta values we have found. Okay. Now if you just notice here, product of alpha and beta, if you consider first one, alpha beta into t. Now if you just multiply alpha and beta, what happens here? M raised to 2 you will get, L raised to 2 you will get, T raised to minus 7. So definitely first option will not match. Okay. So hence we will consider this one. Alpha into beta, again it is out of question. Why? Because we can see that alpha into beta will never give me M raised to 0, L raised to 0, T raised to 0. So definitely 1 and 2 cannot be picked. Now beta t by alpha. Beta is MLT minus 3 into T if you just do. Definitely you will not get again dimensionless. But fourth option will definitely match. Okay, so hence I'll just consider option 4, because if you just multiply alpha with time, okay, then you will get MLT raised to minus 4 into T raised to 1. That will become T raised to minus 3. Then divided by beta, then whole thing will become dimensionless. So definitely option 4 happens to be the right choice here. Now let's go to 42nd question. Now in 42nd question, a metallic bar of Young's modulus 0.5 into 10 raised to 11 Newton per meter square and coefficient of linear thermal expansion of 10 raised to minus 5 per degree Celsius length, 1 meter, and area of cross section 10 to the power minus 3 meter square is heated from 0 to 100 without expansion or bending. The compressive force developed in it. Now, my dear friends, this is based on thermal stress concept. Okay. So, thermal force, I can very easily understand here. Thermal stress, I'll just write here. Thermal stress is equal to Young's modulus into thermal strain. So this is a formula, right? So over here they have given Young's modulus and thermal stress, I will write it as force divided by area. F by A, that's equal to Y into thermal strain. Now thermal strain is what? Thermal strain is delta L by L naught. Delta L by L naught. So which I will write it as Y into delta L by L naught is alpha into delta T. Okay. So over here alpha into delta T into Y. Now therefore force F is equal to what? Y A into alpha multiplied by delta T will obtain this. Okay. You just key in all the values, then you can simply calculate this value as 50 into 10 power 3. Option 4 happens to be the right choice here. Okay. Just take a look. Now I'll just skip over to next question. 43rd. A small telescope has an objective of focal length 140 centimeter and an eyepiece of focal length 5 centimeter. The magnifying power of telescope for viewing a distant object. Now notice that in case of telescope, object is at infinity, image formed is also at infinity. That is the normal adjustment that we have. Now in this particular case, I can see that magnification M, I'll just simply write it as, I'm taking absolute because I don't want to use that negative sign here. So hence absolute I'll just mention. So it will be what? Focal length of objective divided by focal length of eyepiece. Focal length of objective divided by focal length of eyepiece. Now focal length of objective is given 140. Objective focal length is always negative, so I'll just take minus 140 divided by, it is 5 here, eyepiece. Since I am putting absolute sign here, so my answer what I'll get would be 28. Okay. So this should be equal to 28. So very simple question, very easy question. I hope most of you would have done this question correctly. Now let me move on to 44th question. An iron bar of length L has magnetic moment M is bent at the middle of its length such that the two arms make an angle of 60 degree with each other. The magnetic moment of this new magnet is how much they are asking. See, magnetic dipole moment, if you just consider a magnet, note that we have north pole and south pole. Okay. Now each pole will have an ability of attracting or repelling called as pole strength. Pole strength. Now this pole strength we denote it by small m, lowercase m. Okay. Then note that magnetic dipole moment would be equal to pole strength multiplied by magnetic length. Okay, so I'll just write L as magnetic length or dipole length. Dipole length L. Okay, so M into L. Now when such a magnet is bent exactly into two equal parts like this, we consider it this manner. Yes. Now we can see that here we will get length as L by 2. This length is L by 2. My dear friends, pole strength will not change here because we are having same magnet. So pole strength will remain same here as well as here. So same pole strength, but magnetic length will become what? L by 2. So hence we will simply consider it to be what? Magnetic dipole moment M dash is equal to what? M into L by 2. So this happens to be M L by 2 implies M by 2. So it is half of the previous value. Half of the previous value. Okay. So this is the answer. So option 4 is our right choice here. Okay. Just take a look at the solution. Now let's go ahead with next question quickly. 45th question. A 10 microfarad capacitor is connected to a 210 volt 50 hertz source as shown in the figure. The peak current in the circuit is how much they are asking. Peak current. What is the meaning of peak current? Now we can see that in this particular question, they have given us VRMS. RMS voltage they have given. So VRMS is how much here? VRMS is 210. Now from this we will calculate V0. Okay. So what is V0 equal to, my dear friends? V0 is equal to root 2 times of VRMS. So hence this should be 210 root 2. We'll consider it like this. Okay. 210 root 2 happens to be the voltage, maximum voltage or peak voltage. Okay. Then we will consider from this, therefore, V0 is equal to I0 into, here since it is capacitive circuit, so I'll just consider XC. According to Ohm's law, okay, V is equal to I into opposition. What is the opposition in the circuit? XC, capacitive reactance. So capacitive reactance happens to be 1 by omega C. So I0 into 1 divided by omega into C. I'll mention this. Okay. I hope it is clear. Now you just move forward now. They want us to calculate I0 here. So we can calculate I0 very easily in this question. Is it not, my dear friends? So if you just key in all the values, then here note that they have given us frequency 50 Hertz. So from this you calculate omega is equal to 2 pi f. Right. So you just put in here and key in all the values given, and they have asked us to approximate pi as 3.14. So if you just approximate it like this, then we should be getting it as 0.93 ampere. So this is option number 4. Now let me move on to next question, 46th question. Two heaters A and B have power ratings of 1 kilowatt and 2 kilowatt respectively. Those two are first connected in series and then in parallel to a fixed power source. The ratio of power outputs for these two cases. See, those two are first connected in series. So firstly they are connected in series and then in parallel. Now, hope you recall back the power expression in series and parallel. Okay, so power expression in series, if you just consider, I'll just mention it as power in series is equal to 1 by P1 plus 1 by P2. So I'll just write it as P1 into P2 divided by P1 plus P2. This is power in series, is it not? Okay, then power in parallel. Now let us go ahead and use these values what they have given. So it is 1 kilowatt and 2 kilowatt. So I'll just mention 1 into 2 divided by 1 plus 2. So this happens to be 2 by 3. 2 by 3 kilowatt. Is it not? Okay. Then power in parallel. This is P1 plus P2 here. Power in parallel is P1 plus P2. So here simply it will be sum of these two. So P1 is 1 plus P2 is 2. So we will get this as 3. Now I need not calculate further things. So very easily they want us to calculate what? They want us to calculate the ratio of power outputs for these two cases. Power in series divided by power in parallel. They want us to find this. Okay. So and very easily we can see that this happens to be option 4. Okay. Now 47th question. 47th question, the velocity time graph for the motion of the body is as shown, which is the appropriate acceleration time graph they are asking. Okay. Now in this particular case, if you just notice here velocity is increasing. So clearly here velocity is constant. Here again velocity is changing. So we can see that for increasing velocity we'll consider this part. Okay. Then for decreasing, for constant velocity, acceleration will be 0 here. Okay, so this is the one. Then for decreasing velocity, acceleration will be in the negative side, as you can see. So hence I'll consider first option. Okay, so this happens to be the right choice here.